Battery pack prices are about to come down. In fact, they came down by 40% last year. This is the cost that car companies pay a battery manufacturer for a battery. So the cost that BMW buys a battery from its supplier came down 40% last year. Now, the biggest battery company in the world says it is going to reduce its battery prices by 50% this year. If you consider all of this, and you consider the fact that it's cheaper than ever by a mile for these companies, BMW, Hyundai, many brands, it's way cheaper than it's ever been for them to buy battery packs. If you consider that, what they're doing to consumers is, I believe, illegal. It should be illegal. It's simply amoral. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. It's great to see you. It's also not just amoral. It's bloody embarrassing. It's ridiculous because what this does is it gives headlines credibility. We see these headlines, the price to replace the battery pack, your battery's only going to last for 5 years and it's going to be a big problem. You're going to have to pay all this money. Nonsense. You know what? Batteries last a very, very long time. But sometimes, rarely, they do have issues and do need to be replaced. Rarely. I mean, car companies should be charging you no more than a 10% premium for something like this, but they're not doing that. They're putting on astronomical markups, and I mean insane markups that are just disgraceful, and they're embarrassing. They're embarrassing because it does give credibility to these anti-EV haters. So, you know what, BMW, I'm going to call you out. Shame on you for giving them credibility. BMW i3 owners. Now, the i3 has a small battery pack. It should cost peanuts. It should cost BMW no more than a few thousand. They're being charged $30,000 for battery replacements. Someone was quoted $71,000. It seems like it's just completely arbitrary. If you're a BMW dealer, you just charge whatever the hell you want, whatever you can think. If you see a consumer coming, walking into your dealership, and you think they're a sucker, just charge them whatever. Just put on whatever price you want. Now, even if one of the 8 cells in the i3 battery pack go bad, so you only have to replace one cell, you don't have to replace all of them, i3 owners are still being left with these massive repair bills for what should be something that had only cost BMW no more than maybe $500. First released in 2013, the i3 was BMW's first electric car. Now, they didn't sell that well, and BMW said, we told you EVs weren't wanted. We told you the i3 is proof that EVs will never take off. In fact, BMW said that when I first started this channel about 2.5 years ago. BMW made that comment. I reported on that. I was thinking, what pipe are they smoking? They're smoking some seriously good crack cocaine to be saying that, just because people don't want to pay $70,000 for a BMW i3 with a really small battery and a really small range doesn't mean they don't want EVs. They just want a good EV for a reasonable price. And I think BMW are just being idiots making those comments, and I think they did realize that. That was an idiotic comment. The CEO of BMW, Oliver Zipse, made that comment, and I think he realized, backtracked on that later. He didn't backtrack on that comment, but backtracked on the anti-EV sentiment, and now BMW have pretty quickly been able to ramp up and become one of the biggest EV manufacturers in the world, which is fantastic for them. Primarily designed as a city car rather than a long-distance vehicle, it wrapped up its sales in the US in 2021, 45,100. However, 3 years after it's no longer being sold, there are affordable ones on the used car market. Unfortunately, though, there's quite a few owners saying the price to replace batteries is insane. Frequently, prices are quoted over $30,000. Someone was quoted at $71,000. To give you some context, it's not only BMW that's doing this. Mercedes-Benz, for their hybrids, they've been charging $17,000 to $20,000 for a battery pack in a hybrid. These batteries are quite small. That's more than the value of the car for many of these older hybrids. BMW sold the i3 as an EV and a long-range extended hybrid, so kind of like a plug-in hybrid. But now the car is no longer being produced. i3 owners have some big repair bills because some of the batteries, just the quality wasn't there yet. I mean, BMW hadn't really probably nailed down EV production at that time. So these batteries are much more likely to have problems than newer electric cars or vehicles that are really built as, more modern EVs with better battery management systems. BMW's i3 battery has 8 cells. So usually it's rare for any more than one of those cells to have a problem. Now that should mean that BMW can come along and just replace that one cell, but often they don't want to do that. They want to make a big markup, make a big sale out of you. So people are being charged $33,000 for a full battery when all they need is one single cell. Someone was charged $38,000, someone else was charged $71,000. It seems to be just the luck of the draw. One Reddit user said they were charged $71,208. So that was a lot more than the price of when this vehicle was new. When it was new, it ranged in price from $45,000 to $52,000. So is BMW saying, you know what, the battery's worth more than the price of the car? Does it really cost BMW $71,000? Of course not. It probably costs them about $2,000 or $3,000. Remember, this is a small battery pack. Now, fortunately, apparently in California, BMW can't do this to owners because in California, these vehicles have to have a 10-year, 150,000 mile powertrain warranty. But that 10 years will be up for many of these vehicles soon. So will the 150,000 miles. So my advice is, if you're considering buying one of these on the used car market, you're like, wow, what a bargain that is. That's a really good price for these. It's a BMW. It must be great. Yeah, not so. But anyway, if that's what you're thinking, I'd be very careful. Make sure that it has plenty of years of warranty life left. It's also worth considering as well, if you do have a problem with one of these batteries and you get a ridiculous quote, whether that's Mercedes, BMW, or any car company, if any EV company gives you a massive price quote, take it to an independent battery specialist. They can often fix them for a fraction of the cost, a couple of $1,000s, even less sometimes. So do that first. Guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.